So right now, the ceasefire breakdown, this is what has occurred. Hamas has put forth their terms, and one of them being, we will release all of the hostages if the fighting stops. Y'all stop dropping bombs. Y'all just stop doing that. Stop it completely. Just stop shooting. Stop burying our people in the hospitals. Al-Shifa Hospital, they just discovered, I want to say 50 bodies where they were beheaded.
Yes.
It's just some more foul shit, just some more real foul, egregious shit. And Hamas just said, hey, we'll give you all the hostages we have. Just stop bombing. Just stop shooting. And I want to say the response has been from Israel a resounding no.
Yeah. Okay. So you remember the game Telephone? That's kind of how it all broke down. So you had the United States, Egypt, Qatar, and the UN sitting at the table. They start penning this document, this ceasefire document, right? Everybody was like, this is looking good. This is great. So apparently they send it to Israel. Israel looks at it and was like, yeah, we can get with this. But of course, Hamas also has to agree. So then they give it to Hamas, and Hamas was like, hold on, wait, well, there's some things in here that we need to underline, red line, circle. This needs to be this, blah, blah, blah. But that, in my opinion, is how negotiations go, right? So I don't know if Hamas officials were under some type of understanding or belief that the deal that they were giving back was set in stone. But after they had like changed a few things, they were like, cool, we can agree with this. And announced that they accepted a ceasefire deal from Qatar and Egypt. Well, and this is all alleged, y'all, because we actually do not know what the original document looked like. We only know what the one that Hamas agreed to looked like. So allegedly, the new document that had a couple changes or whatever goes back to Israel. And Netanyahu looks at it and was like, nah, this is not what we said. This is actually far from our demands. All of that. High level, the ceasefire deal that Hamas agreed to was a 3-phase plan. Each phase was 42 days, I believe. GS just said that there was a hostage exchange, so we'll give your hostages back for so many of our prisoners. We want you to immediately stop the fighting. This was going to be a permanent ceasefire too. This is what they wanted. I hear that was one of the big difference, that Israel had agreed to, I believe, a 40-day pause. Hamas said, no, we need a permanent ceasefire. Like, they were like, we ain't trying to fight you no more. Like, we're trying to chill. What was going to come after that was a total removal of Israeli troops from Gaza. They were going to start rebuilding. One of the first things in the first phase too was opening of the humanitarian corridors to start pouring aid into Gaza. So that was one thing that Hamas wanted. Israeli soldiers for the rest of the hostages, blah, 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 rebuilding plan. There was a plan about, what do you call them, utilities, so getting electric, water, gas, things like that back up and running so that people can function and actually live in the Gaza Strip. So Netanyahu was like, nah, not only is it a no, but also we're going to push ahead with our ground offensive. And long story short, because neither of them had a delegate at the table at the same time while all of these drafts were being done, it didn't go through. And I'm going to say this, and this is going to be a very fair point that I'm going to make regardless of what side you are sitting on. Israel, several times now, has failed to send a delegate to negotiation talks. And because of that, ceasefire talks have continued to break down. I don't think I would be crazy to say that Israel does not want a ceasefire, that they want the complete destruction of Gaza so that they can rebuild their expensive ass condos on waterfront property. And hence why Rafah is literally being torn apart right now. The one place that was supposed to be safe for these people.
Well, I was going to say one thing from watching like all of this, I never, like, you know how you hear people say, oh, he's arguing in bad faith. I now get it. I now it makes so much sense because this is exactly what this is. They are having a conversation in bad faith. They don't actually want to fix it.
Yeah.
There's no real perspective that lines up both or beneficial for both or even 60-40. It's Israel's way or the highway, and they have the guns to back it up. So what this has shown is that when you do have that behind you, then you're just not gonna, when you're dealing with the right wing government, you're not inclined to actually give anything.
Yeah.
Again, I don't care who's behind you or whether you're doing it because a book told you that this is your land, whatever the case may be. If you are on the right side, the far right side, you're for destruction. You're for death. You actually are okay with it. I've never seen a right wing government that actually wanted to look after all the people or wanted to handle their conflicts without violence. From what I've seen is when they have the power, they will use it. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, it makes sense. It makes sense why it's not working because they don't want it to work.
There's no interest. And what they came back with was, but we're committed to continuing ceasefire talks. I was like,
I mean, again, it's the same perspective that Biden, that they're taking a more secondary seat to this because they're saying, while Israel is saying that we are committed to ceasefire talks and not even sending anyone to the table. Meanwhile, we have the American government that's saying that we're going to do things according to how when Israel accepts it, we're going to support Israel on it. And Israel's not even really doing anything to make it work. But America, again, is hiding behind that idea that whenever they come to a conclusion, we're going to support it. How can you really come to a conclusion when one side is clearly not even putting in the work to make it happen?
That's it. And they don't have to because you're going to send them guns.
You're going to send them guns anyway. Like you can't. You're not going to force them to do it? No, you can't.
Right.
So again, this is so dangerous because I hope and I pray that someone on that side, American, who's on that side, I hope that they get a chance to. I hope that they get a chance to experience what it's like letting a foreign government have so much control. I hope we all live long enough to see Israel do what's best for Israel at the behest of those folks. Because again, we already know there's some bullshit. Yeah, we done already felt it. Right, but. No, but just let's let our real white, not the Ben Shapiro's, not the ones who are quote unquote Jewish, but then want to argue for American rights, but at the same time be totally for Israel, spending all kinds of fucking money to make whatever they want to make happen. Yeah, like no, I'm talking about the good old Alabama boys. I can't wait until y'all experience the thing that y'all, and I guarantee when y'all realize, damn, we really got our leaders supporting our AIPAC is really behind our leaders. When y'all, I hope and pray that when y'all do realize that y'all that what they're paying means more to them than you all do. I hope it's gonna be too late.
That's real. Nick,
I can't wait to see it. I just want to see the egg on their face. I want to see the Confederate flags on their hats when they walk up and come to find out their leaders who are paid for by AIPAC is not going to give them what they want because Israel will say don't give it to them.
Are you Jewish?
Are you Jewish? You can't vote. You cannot vote. Oh no. I can't wait until they exercise that muscle against them.
Yeah. Can I point out real quick? Piers Morgan, who is almost always problematic. Was it earlier this week? Last week. Cornel West was flipping out on him, right? Because of some bullshit that even Piers Morgan said something worth something earlier this morning. Because
he's definitely been on some, but what about Hamas? What about Hamas? What about October 7th?
And I don't know which conversation got him.
Cornel did it? Cornel cracked the code?
There were several. There have been so
because he's had He's had some people on there. Hassan, I know. I'm a follower of Hassan. I'm a fan.
Yes. Hassan been getting him together. There's another, I think her name is Amy. There's another journalist who been whipping him into shape. And I don't know if he sat down one night and was like, fuck, I'm on the wrong side of this. But literally, he sat with an Israeli official late last night, early this morning, and got him together. And I just remember, I remember thinking, like, what am I watching right now? When Piers Morgan is on the right side of some shit?
I'm going to say this again. It's words. It's words. So I think that the writings are on the wall. I think that if you give a person enough time to think about their legacy, that's what they have to think about. No, we're not giving Piers Morgan time to think about the people who have died, the kids who have been killed. No. You give them space and time to think about their legacy. What are people going to think about you after this is over?
Where you stood.
Where you're in this journalism field. Again, now you're commenting on an entire governmental institution that has been responsible for the deaths of your colleagues. Directly for your colleagues.
And remember, Cornell West pointed that out. He was like, you a journalist. Journalists are being murdered.
The most journalists
what are we talking about?
In recent history are dying or have been killed.
I'm not saying Piers Morgan did it because his heart changed and the Lord touched his heart and laid it on his heart to be on the right side of things. But I am saying that this man, who I know people who are far right, hardlining right, listen to him and his words. And I remember thinking this morning, I was like, okay. Even if it's not in your heart.
Where's my conspiracy cap? Let me.
It's on the way, by the way.
Conspiracy cap. Let me put my conspiracy cap on real quick. Again, this is a conspiracy, meaning that I don't know all the full details. I'm just looking at the outside and I'm just drawing conclusions. My conclusions could be wrong. My conclusions could be right. We don't know. It's again what I feel. So let me say this. I sincerely, the same way we're looking at the Pierces, the same way we're looking at, certain political figures, changing their tune. Again, we got Bernie Sanders. Finally, he still ain't called it a genocide, I don't think yet, but he's coming out and
you said Bernie,
yeah, and being a little more vocal. There are people who are coming out and really saying things. My point is this. Do we think, conspiracy hat, do we think that, what would happen first? Actually, that's really the question. What would happen first? Would we turn our backs on Israel and let whatever happens to them? Or would Israel turn its back on America and use its resources to get what it needs to get to support itself? My thing is, these countries, these leaders, if we go back in history, go back in time, America, the Americas, all of these countries have had histories of backstabbing each other, breaking peace treaties with groups, disaligning themselves with certain powers, and in some instances, damn right going against them. So my thing is, for us to be so close to Israel, is this the group we really want to be close to in that sense? Like, if we see that what kind of carnage, what they're willing to inflict, like, is this, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to be connected with somebody, in my mind, I'm looking at them like, damn, like, am I that? Well, let me give you how I think. I'm the kind of person where if I see you doing like really savage shit, don't get me wrong, if you my boy, if you my dog, if you my partner, you my da-da-da-da, I'm gonna be like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. But eventually it's gonna creep into my mind that you could do this to me. You could do this shit to me. I don't know which direction it could go in. See my eye? That's my conspiracy eyes. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is that if one gets back into the corner, again, we talking about people changing there, and this is the end of this part. I'm sorry, we done went too long, but what's my end of my part? My part. Could something happen? Is what I'm saying. Could something happen? Could somebody say on our side, quote unquote, the American side, like, you know what? We've spent enough money over there. Too much. You know, you know what, Israel? If you can't figure this out, then we're gonna pull we're gonna pull our resources out. We actually, this is not worthy of our investment anymore. We have other things that we need to focus on, or what you're doing has caused more disarray here in our money. Because again, we know that they're not gonna like not fuck with Israel because it's the moral thing. Like they're not gonna disconnect from Israel for that. They would disconnect from Israel if it was about some bread, if it was about some money.
Yep.
If the right Americans was like, you know what,
we know this, which is why you have those anti-divest and sanction laws in this country. We knew it was always about the money. We knew. So
I'm just saying, or the other side of it.
I was about to say, there's the other side.
The other side of it, Israel could be like, you know what, America isn't helping us like they used to. America isn't really for us. Like we have people in high up places in America, and we could fold America because we're over their media. We're already in their good. Like we could, again, they won't outright be like, oh, America, we gonna fuck y'all shit up. No, if Israel really felt like America's not the ally they need them to be, and realize that it would be to their detriment if America continued to do whatever it was doing, who's to say that Israel wouldn't turn and do whatever it needs to do to, again, fold America for its own benefit?
And what I fear, if that comes to fruition, right, is America sees it like, wait, Israel just turned their backs on us. They said they ain't fucking with us no more. We have all of these Jewish people in high places. What I fear is America's panic. And we start throwing people. You know what? The Salem witch trials, all of these, again, the Red Scare. I mean, we had internment camps right here, y'all.
You are absolutely right. We had internment camps for the Japanese right here.
So
yeah, if
either or, it ends badly. Now, what I don't think Israel is bold enough to do is attack America.
No.
But I could see it being some chess shit. It wouldn't be. It
wouldn't be no outright shit. It would be something. It'd be like if y'all stop supporting us and let's say we believe America's good. If we lost control, quote unquote, if AIPAC, let's say
AIPAC gets kicked out of Washington,
let's just say, let's say somebody just comes in with this radical idea of saying like, hey guys, maybe we shouldn't allow foreign entities to influence
our elections.
Yeah. We shouldn't allow people, we shouldn't give that kind of freedom to foreign governments to pour so much into ours. And we just have to stop that. I think it's better, our decision making is better when there's no conflict of interest, which would make fucking sense.
That seems great to me. Yeah.
Like if someone makes that decision and then, again, there's going to be backlash. Again, what kind of backlash? Again, we already see that they are willing to bomb and kill innocent people. Who's to say what they would not do to us if they saw us as an enemy to them?
Yeah, man.
And vice versa. Sorry, conspiracy hat off.
No, that's a great thing
conspiracy
to ponder.
Conspiracy hat off, because you never know.
That's a great thing to ponder. I mean it.